saw this Greta Thunberg kid that should have stayed in school with a mouth shut and listened to a teacher.
Yeah, that thing.
You know her? Well, she's gone, she's done a complete 180 and gone and sided with protesters against a wind farm going up in, I think it's the Netherlands or Norway, somewhere there.
Hold up.
Yeah, no, but wait, it gets better. So she's apparently signed petitions and shit to help a indigenous reindeer tribe protect their reindeers, and it just coincides with the fact that the wind farms are now going to be put in their backyard. And so now she's decided that no, you can't have. And do you know what? I'm just going to applaud this next sentence because it deserves a round of applause that this now 20-something-year-old has got it through her head finally. She says, I agree with all the right ways of renewable energies and solar energies, but not at the expense of the less fortunate.
Hang on. I'm just trying to process this, chat. Give me a second.
But isn't this what we've all been bitching about, right? They want us to go green. They want us to buy Teslas, even though they explode. But they want us to do all this. But if you're a middle or low income earner, we don't have the funds to just go out and buy a Tesla or pay 3 times what we would be in electricity after buying said Tesla, so because you charge it somewhere, right? And now they've just got to put your energy bill up. Are you kidding me? No middle or low income earners can afford that. So this is why we're all like, we're not anti-green. We're just saying it's not a viable option for everybody. And if you want to pull out the stops about it all, just go and check out Woolies and Coles that sell plastic bags for 25 cents. You can't recycle them, but they're made from recycled goods.
So now that she's grown up a little bit, am I allowed to take a page out of your own book, you mongrel little hypocrite, and say, how dare you sit there and say, how dare you?
But this is it. This is exactly my point, right? All of a sudden it's inconvenienced one of her other groups. And so where does the conflict go? But they were saying, like, because they decided they weren't going to put the wind farms offshore, right? Because obviously they've worked out it's fucking up the mammal sonar system in the sea. So they can't do it offshore. So they go and put it on land, and now the reindeer might find them noisy. So they can't do them on land. So my point in all this is, right, you can think green, you can put all these plans forward, but when it comes down to the crunch, you're asking too much of people that cannot afford it.
There is only one viable option for a renewable energy source, and everyone's just too afraid to say it.
Nuclear. I'll say it. But the issue is, I mean, look, we're on the right track, right? We're starting to get, nuclear-powered subs and stuff like that. We're on the right track. But I guess whenever you say the word nuclear, everyone goes, oh, God, Chernobyl. And, yeah, you've got your risks, right? But
there's risk with everything. There's risk even with a fucking coal-fired power plant.
Shit, there's always a reaction to an action. No matter what you do. I've always said you can't please everybody. So you can't put the wind farm out to sea, but now you can't put it on land. Where do you want to put it?
The most viable method in science of creating renewable energy is fusion reaction. But we're only just starting to touch that technology now. Because with fusion, there is no byproduct. Fusion is 2 atoms fusing into one atom and using the chemical reaction between the 2 atoms to generate the electrical source. But we are only just starting to scrape the surface of fusion technology now. So the only other viable option of a renewable energy source is, I hate to say it worldwide, nuclear. Yes, there's going to be a byproduct of nuclear waste, but the nuclear waste can actually and will actually be stored safely. There is actual rules and regulations as to how it can be stored now, especially after the Chernobyl incident. So the world has got a lot smarter and a lot more advanced with the way that they deal with this sort of technology. But until fusion power, fusion reaction becomes an actual reality and not just a science thing that they're trying to get to work, the only possible way to get clean energy is nuclear right now, without burning fossil fuels. And
I guess the debate is, if we were to ever go nuclear and put a power plant in, where would we put the power plant? Because, like I said, you can never please everybody, and with it does come the risks. And unfortunately, with nuclear, the risks are quite high, but the benefits are very good too. So
yes.
it's a hard one. It's a hard one. As soon as you say nuclear, people just dread, because we know what can happen and we've seen it. So it is a hard one. But you were looking into something the other day though that you thought
fusion. That's what I'm saying. Fusion technology is the way of the future. But but the scientists are only just starting to touch on technology able to sustain fusion reaction now.
Yeah.
But
we don't want a Dr. Ock.
But the fusion reaction that they generated was only for like 2 or 3 tenths of a second.
Yeah,
okay,
it
wasn't sustainable.
Wasn't sustainable.
They made a fusion reaction, but it was that.
Yeah.
A blip on the radar.
As technologies progress, I'm sure we'll find a way. But at the end of the day as well, we have the resources. If it is to make life easier for people, I say we continue how we're going. We are not killing the planet. The planet has these resources for a reason. So I say we use them diligently. Don't go mining to the fucking center of the earth. Although I've heard good things about that place. Thank you, Brendan Fraser. But yeah, so
the other one that I had as an idea, Silent was touching on. We can create man-made diamonds in a lab now, right? So
that's what I was asking you about.
So what are diamonds? Diamonds are literally just lumps of coal after a tremendous amount of pressure. Now, I saw a science experiment from a YouTuber that actually put diamond, like actual tiny little diamonds, into a beryllium tube and heated it with an oxy torch. But as soon as it was blasted with pure oxygen, the diamonds literally dissipated into nothing. So, my question is, if we're utilizing fossil fuels now and digging it up out of the ground, why dig it up out of the ground when we can make our own diamonds in a lab?
True.
And be able to use that as a field instead of actually mining it. Why are they not pushing technologies to that way? Because that would be renewable.
Well, I was just going to say, contrary to popular belief, diamonds are not rare. There's a massive diamond trade in Africa, South Africa, and they literally have tons and tons of diamond uncut just sitting by the wayside because it's not rare. So if we've got so much of it that we can make power tool blades out of it, why not use it for other? And I'm sure that, you know, NASA and the appropriate groups will have looked into this and have already started testing their own theories. And it is something that it's quite interesting, really. Like, Ahmed's right. If you can make your own diamonds, then you'd have like an endless supply. I guess it just depends on what ingredients you need to make the diamonds.
But if you can make them in a lab now.
But like I said, it depends on where you're getting the ingredients to make it. If you say it's, you know, we can make it ourselves by just, you know, putting coal under a lot of pressure. Well, we already know we're still mining coal, and so that's not really helping.
But if you're actually able to make it,
if you can make it,
I'd have to look a little bit further.
Yeah, I'd look into it a bit more.
But it is an idea. If oxygen mixed with a heat supply through diamonds dissipates into literally nothing, why can't we use that and make our own diamonds, like we literally can, to be able to power our power plants instead of raw ripping it out of the earth. If that's what their problem is about the mining stuff, you can solve it and make your own.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
and if you can make your own fuel, that makes it renewable, does it not?
Should do.
Like diesel. Diesel is classed as a renewable fuel because diesel can actually be grown from plants now. That's been proven. Top Gear did it fucking years ago with that 24-hour race around Silverstone.
Yeah, right.
They grew their own diesel and used their own diesel as a biodiesel.
Yeah, right.
So diesel is actually a renewable fuel.
And there is a guy that did make a motor or an engine, car engine, run on just plain tap water out of the hose.
Yeah, hydrogen
But
engine.
I mean, but the thing is, right? They're never going to make a car that runs on water because they don't tax you enough on water to make any money out of it.
So
they'd never do it.
the technologies are getting better, guys.
They are. I just
be a
don't know
bit
how long
more
we're going to have to wait.
patient.
We're going to have to wait a little bit longer for some flying cars. But
We just got to be a bit more patient. But all we got to do is look throughout even our lifetime, Silent. Look at technology. How much has gone in 30 years, okay? When I was a child, I remember my father walking around with a handbag. And I said, Dad, why you got a handbag? He goes, it's not my handbag, it's my mobile phone.
oh, the ones in the case. Oh, fuck, I feel old.
And the brick was literally half the size of your monitor. That was the battery, guys. Like,
You're an asshat.
now
I do feel
now
old.
we're walking around with what would be classed as a NASA supercomputer back in the day in our fucking pocket.
See, I'm just going to go one step further and say I was the remote for my parents. I had
Yeah.
to change the dial.
Now,
Like,
what's a
that's-
remote control? You talk to your fucking TV and it changes the channel for you.
Pretty much. I swapped over my plans recently for my mobile phone and was asked whether I'd like an in-home system, and I went, no thanks, I don't need something else listening into my conversations when I'm not ready for it.
So, you know, guys, things that we thought were in Back to the Future, how they talk to the computer on the wall, we got it now.
Oh hell yeah! I've seen houses that run solely off iPads.
Yep.
Literally,
Yep.
iPad in the wall in every room, and you can do the lighting, the heating, the fucking air conditioning, the music in each room, everything at the touch of an iPad.
Yep.
And in fact, if you go to your room and you go, shit, I forgot the kitchen light, all good. Just go to your keypad and touch in kitchen and turn off the lights.
Or you go, hey,
No
Alexa,
shit.
turn the lights off.
I couldn't do that in this one. There's 3 stories, so good luck. But if you turn the lights off, she'd probably kill the power to the house. You'd have to, I think. But yeah, no. So I mean, the place I'm talking about, you could literally walk in. The entryway had an iPad there, and you could turn on the waterfall lights and put music through the whole house if you wanted to, and turn the fireplace on. It was amazing, absolutely amazing. I think to myself, what do you do in a blackout? Like, does it reset the entire house? Like, what happens? But yeah, look, technology has come leaps and bounds, and as much as there's a lot of people that will complain about energy and the green way of doing things, I can tell you right now, those people don't live without a mobile phone, without some sort of technology in their house.
So guys,
And they rely on it.
the point I'm getting at here is, look at how much technology has evolved in the last 30 years, from the 90s to the 2020s. How much is it going to advance in the next 30 years?
Oh, it's going to be uncanny. Like,
The rate technology is evolving. There's a new phone with new technology coming out every 12 months.
yeah, I know. That's scary as hell.
Okay, guys? So if the world can be a little bit more patient, the world will evolve and these technologies will actually become reality.
No, but according to a lot of lefties, we'll never ever evolve or grow any stronger if we don't look after our planet. But what they don't understand is they have the life they have now because of the infrastructure, because of the mining.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't have it if we didn't do that sort of shit. And we're not killing the planet, we're using the resources of our planet to sustain life.